Hey, what's up guys? Drew's Midsection here over at Rev Hiker Outdoors. Stick around for my review of the Bradford Guardian 3. Alright guys, so we're going to jump right into the review here. This is the Bradford Guardian 3 in M390. You can see the steel right there. This has the milled G10 scales. This is the basic. They have micarta and a bunch of other materials and patterns and curves, and some people say this is blocky, whatever. I think this knife for me is not super comfortable, but it's not like uncomfortable either. I don't feel like, oh, this hurts. It's just not like, doesn't feel amazing in your hand with these particular scales on it. So anyway, to go along with that, I contacted the maker, Bradford, on Instagram about which fasteners he used and where I could get a bit to remove these. And he was cool, and he just said, here, have a couple. So he just sent me one or two in the mail, I forget. So thought that was kind of cool. I didn't tell him I was a YouTuber or anything like that. He was just a nice guy and good customer service. So today we're going to do a little bit of the Gauntlet review with this thing. I'm going to cut some rope and some paper and some cardboard and some sticks, and we're going to see how this thing does. Now I did sharpen this up because I bought it used. So I've had my edge on here now for like 3.5, 4 weeks. And I have not sharpened it. Okay, so all the stuff you're going to see is not sharpening this, and you're going to see how well this heat treat is done on this blade, because for me the edge holding on this thing is great because I have been cutting all this kind of stuff with it this whole time. So let's jump right in. We'll just see if it's sharp to begin with a little bit of paper cut test. So yes, it is nice and sharp. We don't have to worry about that. So let's start out with some cardboard, because cardboard is always rough on a knife's edge, and we'll just cut it right against this wood here. Cut some with the tip. Cut some like this. And you can see it just goes through this stuff butter smooth. See, that's the one thing about this. This little choil here, I'm always afraid to grip because I don't want my finger to slip up. It hasn't yet, but I'm just like, I don't know, that's always my fear with my SE3 as well. But when you do hold up on the choil, it works really well. So you can see cardboard for this, not an issue. It'll go through it all day, and I can tell you just from experience that this thing will go through a lot of cardboard and still be sharp. Because like I said, I think I only put this thing on the strop once in the last 3 weeks. And this is how it's cutting. So obviously I'm not worried about this cut test. No way. That might be some glue. No. Yep, just some glue. So you can see still cuts very nicely after that. Sometimes I also hook it on this choil when I go to cut. But anyway, let's do some rope, and we'll just see how this thing does on the rope. Now I can tell you from using this thing in the kitchen that it works really well on food. This knife is a good slicer, and I don't know, I've really enjoyed using it for that stuff. Ergonomics on this thing, quite good. You can see in this grip kind of what you might use for food a lot or for this type of a cutting task. Works really well. I have no problems with it. In the hammer grip, the handle's just big enough, and when you're in the forward choil, wear size XL glove, it's just big enough there for the hammer grip. And if I'm cutting like this, my pinky usually comes off the end, which really isn't a problem for me. But the knife is, get through there. The knife is nice, and it does cut quite well. I've been very pleased with it so far. Okay, I think that's enough cuts. What do you guys think? That's like what? Let's do some sawing action, try to dull it up. Get the whole blade working. That's like what? 20 or so cuts maybe? So let's see how it does on the paper after that. Now this sisal rope is definitely tough stuff. No problems there. Maybe a little hang up there. Okay, so I might have a little hang up right in the middle here somewhere. I don't seem to get it now. No, it's still cutting pretty neatly through this stuff. Let's do some wood. See if we can do some Willet feather stick. That's always the question, right? Now, obviously, this is a small EDC fixed blade, but I could totally see this as a hunting knife too. I think it's big enough to do just about anything you need to do for hunting, and you've got plenty of traction on this milled G10 to where you're not going to slip, and this jimping is nice too. So I think it would work pretty well for hunting and as a small outdoors knife. Maybe this is the knife you bring in companion with like your main bushcraft blade, because you want something about this size, but you don't want maybe you don't like folders because in the outdoors, because you think that, you know, it's a weak point, and if you need your backup blade to do hard work, you don't want to have to worry about the pivot. So I don't know, there's some carving. See how that does. I think now we could see if it'll cut the paper nicely. Actually does pretty decent for the feather sticks. I'm getting some decent little curls there, even though I'm just kind of halfway in this, honestly. Just doing it kind of on the fly. I haven't practiced feather sticks with this knife yet. Just been doing everyday carry stuff with it, which it's been stellar for. Let's see how it works now. So maybe some slight hang-ups here. It's taken a little more effort to get through there, but you can still do fine little paper curls with it. So I don't know. I mean, has it diminished in some sharpness since I started? Sure. I'm sure it'd be measurable some way, but boy, it's still still easily shaves. So let's wrap this thing up here. In my opinion, this little knife is great. I love the scout carry on the sheath. Now I just carry it right on the front of my belt. It just comes with a plain leather sheath. If you want a left or right-handed one, if you don't order it from them, you can order another sheath, but you don't have to. This is supposed to be a right-handed sheath with this up on the top, so that it would carry like this. But I didn't want that. I carry it like this on the left side, so I just got the sheath wet up at the top. I took my finger, rubbed some water into the inside of the sheath and on the outside, put this in here, and just kept it pressed for a few minutes. And it mostly reformed the leather to the point where it still has great retention. I mean, it's got a little bit of movement here, but it doesn't really come past here. And that's with me reforming the sheath before it was even better. So basically, to sum this knife up, love the sheath, love that it fits nice and tight to your body when you're scout carrying it in the front. M390 is awesome, but you can get it in a bunch of other steels and a bunch of other handle options and colors and even grinds. You can get a full flat grind or the high saber. You can get the swedge, you can get no swedge. So like I said, I picked this up used on Instagram because a lot of people wanted me to review it for the channel, and I wanted it for myself. But so far, I really love this knife. This is one that I don't really see leaving my rotation probably ever. Really good knife. So thanks for watching, guys, this gauntlet test of the Guardian 3 in M390 by Bradford. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up if you enjoyed it. God bless you as always, and I will catch you next time.